Hey everybody, it's Hank back with another Two Birds and a Third short discussion, the final episode of Champs vs. Pros, and it was like a doozy with two main challenges a part of the final mission. Now, the players that are a part of the final mission for the Champs, Wes, CT, Darrell, Cara Maria, and Camila, and then for the Pros, Cam, Lindsey, Lolo, Gus, and Louise. And basically, like I said before, I had a feeling that this final was going to be split up, where, you probably won't be interacting with many of your teammates, or you won't be on the same team as many of your former teammates. Which is why I thought that it was, in a way, kind of a dumb idea to put Camila into the final, which Cara Maria did. She should have put Camila into the elimination and kept Ashley, because Ashley's the weaker player than Camila. Yes, Ashley M did beat Camila last season in the final, but she also had a partner. So now they're kind of going head to head. The women, there's a heat, and then the men, there's a heat in No Guts, No Glory. It's kind of like the prelude to the final mission, or the final challenge, where, again, they're split up into male and female heats. Basically, you have to eat things. One table is with brains and stomach and heart and intestines. And that table, if you eat that plate, you get 45 points. And then there's a yellow table. Well, the first one was the red table. The yellow table has mac and cheese, baked beans, mashed potatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, and that table is 35 points. And then there's a dessert table with cake and ice cream or something like that, or different kinds of cakes, which that's 25 points. Once you eat a plate of food at one table, the red, yellow, green table, you will use the color-coordinated ball to shoot a basket, and then you get to go to another table and eat something else. So there is a bit of strategy going on here, but obviously the red table is disgusting food. The yellow table is home-style soul comfort food, and then dessert. So which one's the easiest one to eat? The dessert, because everyone likes dessert. So what happens is, at the very beginning, the women's heat, Cara Maria goes straight for the brains, because apparently brains are the tastiest of the internal organs. And I think they're animal brains or something I don't think they're human brains. That'd be weird. Ugh. That's like cannibalism. You can't do that. But they do that. It's kind of like a fear factor thing. But she goes straight for the brains and she eats the brains. She consumes it really fast. And Cara Maria, having the most experience in final missions or final challenges, she's had to eat a lot and eat a lot of disgusting things. So I think that might have been something that she prepared for. So she eats the brains, and she immediately goes to the dessert table, while the other four are just eating their organ foods. And Lindsey Jacobellis is just puking everywhere. She is not having a good time. She is not having a ball. And basically, Cara Maria eats a key lime pie or something like that, and then she goes for the the main course food, the yellow table food. I think Camila finishes next, and then it's a race between Lolo, Louise, and Lindsey Jacobellis. Basically, while Cara Maria is kind of taking her time at the yellow table, because she's already sunk baskets at the other tables. But I think that Camila and Lindsey, it's a short race between those two. But I think that Camila finishes and Cara both finish. And Lindsey Jacobellis, Lolo, and Louise are at the yellow table, and Lindsey's just puking everywhere. I think they eventually make it to the green table, and she's still puking, and she ends up puking on Louise's, cake. So Louise is like, oh no, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating someone's stomach acid. I want this money, but I don't want stomach acid of Lindsey Jacobella. So basically what happens is Cara wins, Camila wins, and Lindsey win. So unless the pros team for the men, unless both Cam and Gus finish in the top 3, there is absolutely no chance for either Lolo or Louise Hazel. So they're pissed. Lolo's pissed, especially because at the very beginning, Lolo's like, this should be a walk in the park, or this will be a piece of cake. But it obviously wasn't, because she did the worst in this. You know, if Lindsey hadn't puked all over Louise's cake, then she might have finished first. So it's the guys' heat, and the best thing, Wes and Gus are both going for the brains, and then Darrell, Cameron Wembley, and CT, they both go for like the yellow table with the soul food and the home style food. So Wes and Gus eventually collide at the red table. Wes is able to pick up the brains and just chow down on it. He finishes it quite quickly. And then he moves to the yellow table, where he spends a good deal of time at that table. And I don't exactly... And of course Gus follows him because they went the same route, basically. And both Darrell and Cameron Wembley are able to finish. The best part about this whole thing was the fact that CT goes to the red table and he starts eating a heart. He's like, I'm used to ripping hearts out of people. It was hilarious. But then what happens is that Darrell finishes, Cameron finishes. I don't know what order they finish. And it's basically there's a race between Wes and Gus. And if Gus finishes, then obviously the pros are going to get obviously more players for their team, or their possible team, where Lolo or Louise will get to participate in the final challenge. But Wes sinks the shot, and he finishes with all 3 balls, red, yellow, and green. And I don't know how the nominations go. Of course, Cameron and Lindsey Jacobellis, they get to be partners on their specific team, their paired team. And I guess Cara Maria picked Darrell because they've been partners before and they're friends. Of course, you can flash back all the way to Fresh Meat 2, where they were partners and they lost the first exile. But for Camila, it comes down to Wes and CT. And I can tell she really wanted CT, but CT makes the most honorable move in challenge history, in all of challenge history. And he basically says, you know what? Wes was the best performer out of our whole team during this whole thing. Went to 3 eliminations. I'm gonna let my friend take part in the final, and I'll just sit back. Which is, again, the most honorable thing anybody's ever done in this challenge. More honorable than winning a life shield and taking somebody's place in the Inferno. Way more than just that. I mean, it's the most honorable thing. And I don't know if Wes would have done the same thing. I don't think it really matters. But at the same time, this was, a charity thing. They're not actually winning this money. A lot of people are actually debating whether this should be counted as a challenge. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on why. But, you look back at Johnny Bananas would have never done that. So CT is not only the best bro on this show, but he is the most honorable player in challenge history. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And he's grown since the very beginning. So, again, Camila still has a choice, and she still picks Wes. Just reluctantly picks Wes. So it is Darrell, Cara Maria, Wes, Camila, and Lindsey Jacobellis and Cam. So they go into the next day, and Cam's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a race. Because, of course, he's a football player. He's like an edge rusher for the Tennessee Titans. So they begin the race the next day. So the race is composed of, from what I can remember, a short run, then a climb, and then you have to pick up a bag, and then you have to run with the bag, and then you have to, I guess, climb another apparatus, slide down a slide, pick up puzzle pieces, solve 2 puzzles, and then at the very end, Victor Cruz shows them his favorite play in the NFL, which probably is a play that has destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles a few times. And his serious salsa dancing skills have been on display. But at the very beginning, Cam Wembley just doesn't have anything in the tank. All of his gas is gone. Lindsey Jacobellis is probably the best performer in this final mission. She's holding her own. She's coaching Cam, obviously because she probably does this a lot, long distance running. At the beginning, Wes and Camila have the lead, but Darrell and Cara Maria take the lead, and they never lose the lead. And I guess the other thing that happens is during the puzzle, Wes and Camila and Cameron Wembley and Lindsey Jacobellis, they're at the puzzle, and Wes and Camila solve the puzzle, but Lindsey and Cam see their puzzle before they take it all down, and Camila and Wes get really pissed off. But at the end of the day, Cara Maria and Darrell win, which is redemption from Fresh Meat 2. Again, this would be Darrell's 5th challenge if this were to be counted. I believe that it should be counted. I believe that it should be counted because they basically went up against, 10 or 12? Or 10 professional athletes. And actually held their own and actually did very well. And in the final mission, they went up against 2 professional athletes. So I believe that this should be counted. Like I also said before the final, it was really nice to see Louise and Lolo reconcile with each other because they were at each other's throats. And I can understand and see that Lolo was just in every way, shape, or form very annoying, and she, foundation, take a shot. Her talking about her foundation, take another shot at least 10 times, and I think that pissed a lot of people off. But Luis ended up donating to her a lot of, or a few thousand, like maybe $2,000 or $3,000 dollars, because I don't think Lolo won any money. She won a lot of eliminations, but she didn't win much money. But then in the final, because Wes and Camila, right? Wes and Camila didn't win much. What Cara Maria decided to do was she decided to take money from her organization, or the money that she won. I think her and Darrell both split $110,000. So she gave Wes $5,000, and then she gave Camila $5,000, which I'm going to say this right now. At that point in time, CT, before that, CT was the most honorable person in the whole challenge. Cara Maria just gave $5,000 to 2 different charities. So she now wins the award for the most honorable person. And this was a challenge that I really liked watching. It's considered a spin-off, but I'm going to give it to Darrell and Cara Maria. This challenge really showed the champs not doing any politicking at all. What seemed like no politicking. Like, they acted like more professionals at times than the professionals did. And you found that the pros did more politicking than the champs did, because the pros had to vote more of their players in at a time, which caused a lot of animosity amongst the team. A lot of, splitting the team apart. But I am very interested to see the Dirty 30 challenge, the 30th challenge in the history of the challenge, and what what exactly happens in it. I hear it's kind of like the duel. It's kind of like Free Agents. I don't know why they didn't just call it Free Agents 2, but none of that matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed my reviews of this show. I don't know if I'm going to do it for the Dirty 30, but if anyone wants me to, by all means, give me your mindset and your opinions, and I will be back within the week, maybe with more content. I'm going to Oklahoma for a wedding, but hope everyone has a nice day. Peace.